back to Side by Side Plays.
I'm Waifu.
I'm Shiku.
And we're still on this goddamn case.
Do you want to know what I was curious. Today, we are recording this on the... Is it the 14th?
Yes.
It's the 14th of September. The first episode of this case was published on the 12th of September last year. So we have been on this case alone for over a year. Anyway, here's Great Ace Attorney 2.
I can't remember what
It's been about a month since we recorded last. Right, so we were like, oh, we're like almost over, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
she admitted.
The adjudication, unless the prosecution or defense have any other matters to discuss. Why did Dr. Scythe suddenly admit to it like that? The judge. Oh yeah, it's one of those feelings of the judge in the court is like, yeah, with all the evidence that we have right now, we can pronounce the defendant, who hasn't been involved in this case for like a whole in-game day, not guilty at this point. And then Ryunosuke, like the fucking buffoon that he is like, well, but wait, we need to know the truth, which is not how actual courtrooms work at all. Further testimony! Further testimony, Your Honor!
Objection.
This case is over when I say it's over. I don't think that's right. I think it is.
I'm the main character.
I beg your pardon. That's not how this works. We demand one final testimony. You've already won. Sit back down.
I want to shove this so far up.
What?
I just forgot his name's ass.
Van Helsing?
Yeah, Van Helsing.
You do realize I'm about to adjudicate in favor of your client, I presume? What are you playing at now, my Nipponese friend? Why would you want to obstruct the conclusion of the trial at this point? Are you stupid? No defense lawyer in his right mind would do that. I'm not in my right mind, and I dare you to think otherwise.
I am friends with Mr. Holmes. Did you think I have a right mind?
Mr. Naruto, I forgot it was my turn with the brain cell. Quick, take it! Take it! The truth, the whole truth, and a way to bring all the truth out in the open. Okay? Yes, in hindsight, this was a really stupid move. Ah yes, one word of warning before I go. Thank goodness, a flashback that actually comes in handy. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone.
My boyfriend told me to keep going.
To the better end, you understand? Do not falter, whatever may come to pass. I'm sure Mr. Sholmes knew. He must have deduced this would happen. Yes, I'm here in court to advocate for my client. And to secure an acquittal. Obviously. Dumbass. But that's not all. I believe that I have a duty to the court to pursue the whole truth of the case until every last detail is laid naked and bare. Why do you say naked like that? That is why the defense calls for further testimony from Dr. Scythe. Testimony from me? About what? Nakedness! About the naked nature of your collaboration with Mr. Enoch Drebber. In case it's escaped your attention, I've already admitted to everything I did. The whole truth has already been revealed. So stop wasting everyone's time. As his lordship made very plain, your client will get the acquittal you wanted for him. There's simply no point protracting this business further with another tedious cross-examination.
Objection!
Ah!
Yeet. That was my last brain cell. Pray forgive my careless handling of that hollowed bottle.
Bring me another.
I slept.
What's funny is that this game, it's anytime I can just dick around and say whatever I feel like, the game supports it and I will either match my silliness or go above and beyond it, and I just love that. That's what you call it. What is your objection, Lord Van Zeeks?
So well.
Yeah, no kidding. Can you believe I started playing Ace Attorney in 2019 and I don't have any, like, childhood memories of this series? But I fucking love it so much.
The prosecution.
When did you start in 2019?
I started with the collection that came out in PS4, and that's the first time I played them. Any of them.
I was gonna wonder if it was up
I started-
before or after we got married.
That was after we got. No, it came out in March of 2019, so just before we got married.
Okay. So I was gonna laugh. It was like, our entire marriage has been run by Ace Attorney.
The prosecution also calls for supplementary testimony from the witness.
Don't be stupid.
Too late. If there is more to this case than has yet come to light, then I will join my learned friend in pursuing the facts until the bitter end.
I don't want to be one-upped.
This was always my decision from the very beginning, totally.
You what?
Shit, yeah.
Lord Van Zeeks.
This is most irregular, to say the least.
This is cutting into my nap time.
However, as the prosecution also calls for it, I will uphold the request. Dr. Scythe, you will testify for the court, explaining the full extent of your involvement in the murder apparently committed by Mr. Drebber.
Why? Oh, okay.
Is this where we're gonna find out that you're actually siblings? Or married?
Spoilers. It all began at the scene when I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside its jacket. The actual body of the victim, as indicated in the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage. The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team, the FIT, to dress the scene appropriately. The truth about the execution...
They dressed it very fittingly.
Yes, of course. I would expect anything less. The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state secret of the highest level. I had to protect it. Something about what she said doesn't sound quite right. So I was right. The stage and the machine were all specially designed for butt kissing or something. I don't. Give me a second. For the deception. So it seems. And all meticulously prepared. You did well to see through it. You're a very shrewd boy. That's one way of putting it.
Why are you smirking like that?
So kind of you to say. And what about this autopsy report then? It's outdated. All I did was record the location of the body as being in the Crystal Tower instead of under the stage. That's all? That's a terrible corruption. Yeah. Only my team were aware of the deceit, and then only under my explicit instructions. Nobody else at Scotland Yard knew anything about it, I assure you.
Well, we must be thankful for small mercies, I suppose.
That the entire justice system is corrupted.
Well, we must be thankful that the entire justice system isn't corrupt.
Van Zeeks.
No, I was gonna say, oh god, I just forgot who eats the chips all the time.
Gregson.
Shifty eyes.
We found out last game that he was corrupt, so stop that. Stop messing around with that.
I want to push it under your chair so that I can put my foot there.
My chair is not really in the league for having things pushed under it, it seems.
There's no particular need for a cross-examination, I would say.
No, I disagree. I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. Just look at that smile. her shiny teeth and her. It's the defense's right to cross-examine any witness following testimony. What is it about you Japanese that makes... That's racist.
I object to your racism. If you so desire, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination, even though this will cut into my valuable nap time.
Yes, my lord.
And I love how we match each other's sillinesses.
You and I? Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's really funny that... I pointed this out to Scott, but the videos that you and I make together have been a lot more popular than the videos that Scott and I had do together. Like, consistent.
Got titties on it.
Yeah, it's because I got a woman. Yeah, that's totally.
No, I'm joking.
No, I mean it's. I was gonna say it's not just the recent ones too. It's like if you take a list of the most popular videos on the channel by views, Scott isn't in any of the top 5 even.
Oh no.
The first one he's in terms of popularity is number 7.
Oh no.
Yeah. Of course, like, the top 4 are no dialogue. They are highlights of games showing them off, or guides that I made, that I did work on, but they do not feature my voice work. I can't remember what order it is, but I believe the most popular one with a voiceover is just me. Then there's one with, I believe it's a Mario Party video with everybody but Scott. And then the one with Scott in it, which is a Shrek Super Party video, which he just despises because that's one of his least favorite games we've ever done. Okay.
Hold it!
Alright, there's a lot here. So you knew about the special construction of the stage used to carry out the wow. I cannot read today. It was quite obvious what had happened with the victim and the waxwork. And you switched the two over, didn't you? In other words, you Nintendo switched the bodies. You record the victim's body as having been discovered in the Crystal Tower, and the waxwork. I wrapped it and sent it by carriage to the specified address at the specified time. And why were you given such directions? Presumably so it could be recovered by Drebber and returned to Madame Tussauds. I see. And then you put the birdcage back on the experimentation stage? Yes. Although someone obviously made a mistake about which cage should go where. I thought I'd made it perfectly clear to the team, but still. I suppose you were focused on the victim's body, that being a more important detail. Don't put words in my mouth, boy. There's 5 things here to press. I'm just... Might as well just do them all, because I don't know. When you say arranged, I presume you mean... with this? Yes, the weird-looking screwdriver. The instructions in the engineer's note said something along the lines of... fabricate some evidence to make it clear that Hairbrain alone could have killed Assman. So, you mean that was your doing? I fetched Hairbrain's ridiculous screwdriver from the stage, and took it with me, alone, to the abyss under the stage where the birdcage had fallen. Alone?
Alone, Doctor?
Fuck.
Did I say alone? I didn't feel it would be appropriate to involve anybody else in that particular part of the deception. There was a void under the stage where I found the birdcage lying in the dirt. I approached it, leaned down, and slowly opened it up. Then, I took the screwdriver in both hands and plunged it into the Wait a second. Wait a second. Hey, wait a second.
So this means she killed him?
Yeah, hold on. Uh-oh. We're... Well, we know that Hairbrain didn't do it. I mean, he was a corpse after all. Who's gonna tell her?
That he wasn't dead?
Then you noted... Well, okay, so... Sorry, I went ahead by accident. Well, I guess it was her autopsy report that we have to go off of.
But she fucked up her own autopsy report?
Yeah, the sequence of events all of a sudden has become very unclear because the cause of death we determined for sure to be the heart, the sharp wound to the chest. However, she probably is assuming that he had already been dead due to the broken vertebrae from the fall. However, now we need to figure out which is it, which did he die from, because suddenly all of it, because if he had been killed from the stab wound, then where did the broken vertebra come from?
Mm-hmm.
Because if he was still alive after the fall, he would have had to been picked up and dropped again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now we've got a big conundrum on our hand. And then you noted that in your fake autopsy report as a fictitious cause of death. Or, wait, no, maybe they're explaining it here. So, the actual cause of death was... I guess we were slightly ahead of the game. Ahead of ourselves there. The trauma resulting from the 30-foot drop.
My word.
What is it, Miss Usato? Something about Dr. Scythe's last statement is playing on my mind, that's all.
You and
Yeah.
Susato are...
Well, okay, so the evidence that I used against her statement was the autopsy report that she made, and then she explained that she fabricated that. So I think I'm on the right track, but I'm not remembering something I should be relating to that.
Do you want to just take a moment and actually go through all the evidence?
No, I think it's... I'm remembering something earlier, but I don't... It'll come clear, I'm sure. There's really no need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well. Just Torino's came fucking inches from her ear. Dr. Scythe! The defense calls for you to add what you just said to your formal testimony. Oh my god. I'm really glad that my hangover ended before I came to trial today. Oh, what part? Which part? What I want her to supplement her testimony with is... what she did to the victim, I guess? Okay, yeah, actually, I guess I will need to go through the... Probably nothing with that. Okay, wait. Ah, shit. Okay, so we determined that the... I'm lost as to what it wants me to do. His neck was broken from the impact of a violent fall, and he was stabbed in the chest with a sharp object. I just looked through that.
Let's look at that picture.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure which one it wants. Because both are, in my mind at least, both are equally like, viable as a way to move forward. Sit up. The real cause of death, or what she did to the victim. The problem is, I don't know what's... I don't know what... The thing I need...
What does the game want?
No, it's not that. It's what piece of evidence contradicts which, like, option. Because, I mean, obviously the autopsy report contradicts both, but we can't trust the autopsy report. And the game would be stupid if that was something that it relied on us to do. So we need to have... We should have a piece of evidence that determines...
Actually, can you go back to that one? Can you go to that... keep going.
The bottom?
Okay, no, I thought the opposite side had something it wanted you to look at too. Not the bottom.
Yeah, I think we got everything that we could from this.
How far was...
Wait. Never mind. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, could you go to the picture of the stage? Where it shows the big hole in the stage?
To be honest, we haven't used that as evidence for anything yet, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think. Or no, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We had to explain that there was a hole in the picture. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I could think of is the autopsy report.
So if we're doing that,
But yeah, it was made by science, so that doesn't help us at all. Okay. I think I'm just gonna do real cause of death. Yeah, the problem is my Ace Attorney, like, intuition tells me that it's what she did to the victim, and that's gonna help us, like, turn it to start implicating her as the murderer. But, like, I think we can get more out of the real cause of death right now. Either way, let's see what we can get from Alright, the actual cause of death was the neck trauma Aspen suffered from the 30-foot fall.
Hold it!
You're quite sure of that? It was a result of a broken neck? Yes, as a professional, that was more than apparent. You'd never know just by looking at the photograph of the victim, though, would you? No, that's very true. Obviously not. Which is precisely why coroners are needed to determine the actual factuals. Yes, assuming they can be trusted. Dots.
There's no point calling her assessment into question without the evidence. Let's get back to the testimony.
Very well. Yeah, I don't think it's that.
should have done the other one.
Yeah. gonna try the other one, yeah.
Oh, did you just go back?
I have to do the entire thing over again before it gives me the option. Dr. Scythe, what you said before about what you did to the victim's body, I believe that may be significant, so you could change your... Could you change your supplementary statement to explain that instead? Change my testimony? That's silly. But anyway, okay.
Okay, so it allowed you to put both of them in there anyway.
I think I can only do one or the other, but whatever.
Hold it!
This feels like it's more detailed, which is usually the right one. So it was you who stabbed Asmund with this! Yeah. Far easier than dissection, I assure you. No precision required. What a welcome change. The victim died instantaneously from a stabbed neck. All I did was carry out the instructions I'd been given.
As unflinchingly as ever, no doubt. I imagine you didn't bat an eyelid when you drove the weapon into his body.
There was no need to bat my eyelids.
They were already closed because it's so goddamn dark down there.
What else did you do to twist the facts? Remind the court, why don't you? If you wish. Okay, yeah, I think there's something there. Maybe there's a piece of evidence that we get from pressing her other statements? Shit.
Did you want to go back and try and have her change the other?
Fires the screwdriver into the chest. Did we determine anything with the screwdriver?
I don't think so.
Let me see the picture of the victim again, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I saw it again, but that may just be the system coming back in. Can you turn it to the right?
I'm thinking my brain thoughts here. Because I'm noticing that there's like a cushion on the back, so I wonder if... Hi, Pilot. I wonder if the idea was that he wasn't going to... I mean, it was a trick from the beginning, right? So what if he wasn't supposed to die, and he was just unconscious from the fall? But I feel like if that was what they were going for, I'd be able to click on this. I don't know if that's the right... See, like, I'm trying to pick and see if there's a... I'm coming up short. I have no idea.
In the grainy photo, we can see her in it.
I'm honestly wondering if maybe, like, we're supposed to be able to see the screwdriver in this photo, but no. Because it was planted later. I just... This is a rough spot to come back from after a month not working on this case. I feel like I know the answer, but I just am so out of touch with this case. I'm just not sure. Okay, maybe we need to, like...
Let's just continue and keep pressing. Because maybe we haven't pressed the right one and gotten
Let's just start from the beginning. From what you described before, it sounds like the note was anonymous. Do you have any idea of what that word means? I'm very lost. There are a few people in the know about what really happened 10 years ago to start with. But anyway, I'd never heard of this engineer, so no, I had no idea. Yet despite not knowing who was behind the plan, he went along with it? I had no choice. Protecting the professor's secret was my only concern.
But the horse is bolted now, and the stable door will never shut again. I like horses. Scotland Yard's reputation will be immeasurably damaged as a result of this.
You could just take this line out of context and just add it to any case in the entire game, and it will work. Yes, thank you, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm well aware of that.
So as I understand it, what you found in the birdcage was the waxwork model. Where then was the victim's body?
I was getting to that. Okay.
Hold it!
So you knew about the special construction of the stage used to carry out the trick then? It was quite obvious what had happened with the victim and the waxwork. And you switched the two over, didn't you? In other words, you recorded the victim's body as having been discovered in the Crystal Tower, and the waxwork? I wrapped it in... Oh, we already did this one. Okay. We did that. That's what gave us that.
Hold it!
Okay, we did this one. Or maybe it just lets me.
Hold it!
I know we didn't do this one. But at what cost? Faith in Scotland Yard is going to suffer a terrible blow as a result of this.
And your precious secret is out now anyway.
Yes, as you say. And I take full responsibility.
Blow me! Dr. Scythe?
Surely there was some other way you could have phrased that. No, there really wasn't. I've done my utmost, believe me. In many ways, I respect your determination. Whew! I nearly froze under that cold stare as she said that. I do believe she was being genuine, though, Mr. Naruto. Dots. Okay, yeah, I've got nothing. I have a feeling. Okay, wait. So the point of this cross-examination is to
explain why she gave up.
no. The link between these two. But that doesn't help. I'm gonna save and see if this is really stupid, but I wonder if it does want me to present the autopsy report on this statement.
Her own lie with a bunch of another lie.
I've got nothing else. I don't think this is the right option.
Objection.
Maybe it is the screwdriver then? Or the photo of...
Yeah, I've got nothing. I've considered every angle. There's just nothing that... There's nothing that contradicts her statement. So I
mean, the only thing I can think of was, did she say she did this underneath the stage? When she stabbed him?
Yes.
Is there even enough room for her to stand and raise her hands?
Yes. To be honest with you, this is the first time that under the stage area was even mentioned. I'm gonna change it back to the other phrase because that actually is like a direct contradiction to the autopsy report.
Oh yeah.
But like,
Objection.
yeah, I didn't think so. Let me think. So it's got to be either this statement or the other one.
And what was the other statement?
The real cause of death. The one we can change. We know it's not the autopsy report on either of them. Would there be blood?
Maybe. Maybe it is the bird cage. Maybe there will be blood. Should have been blood.
I don't think so. I don't feel like we have the right amount of evidence for that. We've got so much junk.
Surely armband.
The amount of blood here probably wouldn't have got on the cage anyway. I don't know why I keep looking at this. I think I might actually have to find a guide for this for the first time.
I mean, the straps.
Yeah, like nothing makes sense.
You want me to look for a guide?
No, I will do it. Yeah, I've got nothing. I'm just gonna find a guide. I can't figure it out. I've used all my thinking power, and I got nothing. I can't find it.
You thumped your last thought.
Let's hope not. Anyways, turn 2. Guide.
I guess I will keep people entertained.
Titties?
It doesn't always have to be titties. I've got more than just titties.
Okay. Do you think we're on trial part 4? Are we on? Oh my god.
What?
We're like at the end. This is part 4, and of the 10 segments that this guide puts it in.
And each 10 probably have like 7.
Okay, wait. I'm actually not sure. No, hold on. Scythe's testimony. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we are on section 6 of 10. Oh my god, we still have a decent amount left. Okay. Present the photograph of the victim?
So it is that one.
Objection!
Okay. Let's see if I can follow along with the game's logic here. I've got a nasty feeling that this inconsistency points to an extremely uncomfortable truth.
What on earth is the matter, Counsel? Have you lost your tongue?
I apologize, my lord. Dr. Scythe, in that last statement of yours, there's just one point that seems to defy explanation.
Out with it, my learned friend.
There's an obvious inconsistency between your description and this photograph, which shows the victim in the birdcage following the events that led to his death.
Objection!
Oh, did she say she punched it in the middle of his chest?
No.
The court has already examined the photograph in depth. There's nothing new we can learn from it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this out.
Objection!
Yes, we have already considered it, that's true. But we now know that the facts will be different.
What do you mean? I believe we should let the defense explain. Where in this photograph would we see the alleged inconsistency with the witness's statement?
So I already know, because I looked at the guide.
You want me to guess?
Yeah,
Is it the neck?
No. It's the stab wound.
Take that!
Look closely at the bloodstain on the
It
victim.
probably does want
Oh,
to be.
hold on. It's explaining it. Look closely at the bloodstain on the victim's chest. It clearly extends in a downward. Oh!
Okay, so he must have been
So
standing
he was standing upright. Oh my god. Yeah, no, we were right. There was details here. Lay in the yeah, I stood over to the victim's corpse where it lay in the toppled cage. Yeah, no, we've only seen it laying down, but yeah, no, if you think about it, it would have fallen straight down, and he would have been right standing up. Okay, holy shit. Yeah, that probably would have been easier had we been consistent with this case, but like that's a good one. Okay.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, that fucking had me fucking so lost.
If the victim was stabbed moments before the kinesis machine was set in motion, that's entirely expected. Ah, of course, no, that's not what happened.
Exactly, my lord. I'm smart, I swear. Dr. Scythe made it very clear something. Sorry, I keep accidentally pressing the Okay. In her testimony just now, that the point at which she stole Professor Hairbrain's screwdriver and stabbed the victim was after the grand deception was set in motion, when the birdcage had fallen below the stage out of sight. From the shape of it, it's clear that the birdcage would have fallen on its side after the 30-foot drop. And if the victim had really been stabbed whilst inside the birdcage in that position, the blood from the wound would have spread. We even fucking thought about this. The blood in the cage. We were kind of on the right track, but we didn't quite think of it.
Like
we didn't notice.
Down.
Yeah, we didn't notice that it was going down. Yeah, the blood from the wound would have spread out equally in all directions. For it to have formed the longitudinal appearance we see in this picture is inconceivable. Holy shit, you're right.
Ah, crap.
Given that the victim's blood is seeped vertically downwards from the wound, it must be the case that when you stabbed Mr. Assman, he was standing up. In short, Dr. Scythe, I don't know. Where does this stand? Ah!
Counsel for the defense, where does this lead us?
I do not know.
I don't fucking know. Ask the liar.
So he was standing up when he was stabbed. After breaking his neck.
So he's awake.
So he was awake.
I
what
wanted
does
to
this mean?
look at him in the face as much a lover, and then I stabbed him.
Who else have you loved in the past, Dr. Scythe?
Everyone. Now that I've identified the contradiction, there's only one way to explain the facts. We've all been under a great misapprehension here.
What? What sort of misapprehension?
I'm learning
Dr.
so
Scythe.
Wasn't there.
She wasn't there. She was actually a ghost. The ghost murderer.
Shit.
It's all coming back. We
That's
gotta mention it at least once every trial.
The ghost murder?
Yes. You claim you were coerced into helping Mr. Drebber as a result of the note he left in the waxwork. You claim that you made changes to the scene of the crime to implicate the defendant. And you claim that you authored a fake autopsy report to cover your tracks. But one of those claims is an out-and-out lie. Because the question of what the bloodstain really tells us has only one possible answer.
If that is the case, what is it then? Tell me!
I am so confused!
I am so lost! Counsel, you've clearly struck upon the revelation. Now tell the court what it is. Which part of Dr. Scythe's story is shown to be a lie by the contradiction in her testimony?
The wording here is kind of weird, but I think it's how she was coerced. Because well, she definitely, I mean, the stabbing was definitely a lie, but like she definitely still stabbed him. The autopsy report, I think, is not a lie. I think the twist is supposed to be that the autopsy report was actually completely correct. I'm gonna say it's how she was coerced. Although we don't have any evidence to back this up.
You weren't coerced by some letter at all.
Why did you read that for me? I got it.
What?
Stop it! If you were, where is the note? It's nowhere to be seen. That's as may be. That's a weird way to say that. So why don't you present it to the court if the assertion vexes you? Obviously, I've already disposed of it, and I'm not vexed in the slightest.
Counsel, need I remind you that it was you yourself who established the coercion?
Yeah? Oh, shit.
Feeling vexed, my Nepalese friend?
Very. Okay, so it wasn't that.
Well, you got 2 more chances. Surely you'll get it eventually.
Maybe it is the stabbing.
I think it is the stabbing. Well, yeah. It's one or the other. The answer is very simple if you consider the sequence of events. If, when the victim was stabbed, the blood from the wound seeped downwards as it did, we can be sure that the victim must have been either sitting or standing upright at the time.
But as you rightly pointed out, the birdcage would have fallen on its side when it fell beneath the stage.
Yes, it would. Which tells us that the victim must have been in that position of his own accord.
Objection!
It's impossible, the man was dead, remember?
No! That is the misapprehension. This is exactly what I was going for before, but apparently just the wording was wrong. When the birdcage fell from the stage into the void below, it must have hit the ground with considerable force. So he was shaken, but not stirred. He probably lost consciousness for a while, but when he came round, he got to his feet to climb out of the cage. Just as Dr. Scythe appeared. Do you have any evidence? Shifty yes, shifty yes. If the victim was in fact alive at that point in time, it changes everything. Well then, the autopsy report still would have been alive then, because he wouldn't have had any broken vertebrae.
Unless it's shaken baby syndrome.
I think he's a little too many trimesters past that point.
Not if you shake him against the metal of the birdcage.
Mr. Odie Aspen's killer wasn't the defendant, Professor Albert Harebrain. Nor was it the mastermind behind the stage trickery, Mr. Enoch Drebber. It was you, Dr. Courtney Scythe! Grr? Ah!